Hello. I'm going to do a shorter Comic Zone tonight. In my attempts to do slightly shorter, more in-depth ones, we're actually going to be looking at the haul I've got for Zine Party. As you can see, it was a bumper crop. Did a lot of trades at this one. Zine Party is always it's probably my favorite zine focused market that I do, and it's great. I saw a bunch of old friends and met a bunch of new friends and did a lot of trades. It was really cool. But we're actually going to break this into three parts. On the lead up towards Starry Dynamo, I'm doing Starry Dynamo on November 30th. So this week, next week, and the week after, we're going to be covering all the stuff I picked up at the Shelf Life Books and CommunityWise Resource Center Zine Party. So this is part one. I'm Charles, as always. This happens live on Twitch and then lives on YouTube afterwards. So if you're watching this on Twitch right now, you can catch up on this on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you very much. You can actually catch these live. You can join my Discord or go to my Twitch channel, find all the stuff there, and you could be live on the chat when we do these. Okay, so we're going to set these ones aside. This is the next couple of weeks. We'll get to those ones as we progress through the next 2 weeks. This is the group that we're doing for today. It's still look at that. That's still a sizable grab bag that we're doing here today. Let's talk very briefly about Shelf Life Books and CommunityWise Resource Center and the Zine Party itself. So it's gone on for the last, I want to say, 3 to 4 years. Shelf Life Books and CommunityWise Resource Center team up for this one. What happens is the venue for this is the CommunityWise Resource Center, which is the old YMCA downtown in Calgary, just outside of downtown. And then Shelf Life Books graciously helps to put this on. And yeah, it's been really good. I've been able to attend these since 2022, and they've always been my favorite zine focused market that I do. Shelf Life Books is pretty cool. I'm hoping that I'll have some of my zines in Shelf Life Books starting this week. So we've got a whole schwack of stuff here. So we'll go through these rather, I want to take a nice look through what we've got here. We've got 8 creators that we're going to be looking at today. And then over the next 2 subsequent weeks from now, we're going to be looking at another 15 creators over that time and see the stuff that I grabbed at the event. So let's just delve right in. Our very first one that we'll be talking about is from T.I.A, or they go as T.I.A or Thank You in Advance, T.I.A. And they have this great set of stickers, really cool stickers, by the way, and this teeny tiny little zine. This teeny little zine, which is almost impossible to get this camera to look at. Let's see if we can do it. I'm not sure I can. Which citrus fruit are you? Now we've shown some of Tia's stuff in here before, and I think at that point I seem to remember that in my box of zines that I keep under this very desk, there's another little teeny tiny zine just like this down there. So Tia's always got these really cool little zines that are so cute. As you can see, it's basically the size of the one joint of my thumb. About which citrus fruit are you? And this is always hard to show off. It's hard to show off when a camera wants to look at everything except this. Which citrus fruit are you? And then on the inside, we've got some very lovely. Let's see if I can get this right up. There we go. That's the trick, is to get it just right up there. And you'll notice that all of these fun little zany fruits are, we'll see a couple of them in here. Now, these little wackadoodles. Which ones do we have actually? We've got Randall. So if you see Randall there, we actually have a Randall. He's snoozing. He's an audiophile. He likes the ocean and he's great in salads. That's Randall. Who else do we have? I think we actually have. Which one of these do we have? Let's see if we can flip through it. I think we've got one that might not be in this particular zine itself. Actually, it looks like it might be a Lex with their glasses off. It's similar to Lex, but not quite. We got that one. Hi, Funny Bunny. Hi, Sax. Yeah, so really cute little zine. And it's a fun little read because it's like, it's just so teeny tiny. Like, look at this. Here, I'll hold this up next to my face. Does that play? Does that play? Really cute stuff. So T.I.A also runs an art supply exchange where I've actually done it myself, where if someone has some old or disused art supplies, you can donate it to them and then they make it available for free to artists who might be looking for art supplies or craft supplies. I think it's called Art and Craft Supply Calgary, and it's a really cool initiative that they do. And yeah, I was glad to get some of my stuff that I hadn't touched in quite some time off to somebody else who can make better use of it. So yeah, that's the stuff from T.I.A. It's super cute, super cute. Got a couple of coloring zines here from someone who only. So I was looking up this creator online because this was an attendee at the zine market, at the zine party, and they had these to trade, which was cool. I always have a sign on my table that says that I do trades. I trade art for art all the time. That's what I like to do. So they had these coloring zines, so I traded some of my zines for them, and they on Instagram only go as Dad, but their handle is Derpy _turtle 1010. Really nice young person who had these cool coloring zines. And the thing I like about these is if you do follow, as always, if you like what you're seeing, you can always follow these creators with the information I put over to the side here. And if you follow this creator, they actually have some links on their Instagram for you to be able to print these yourself, because this is your classic 8-page zine. You could print this yourself as a single-sided sheet of paper, do the folding, cut down the middle here, fold it together, and have yourself a coloring zine. And they welcome you to hit them up on Instagram and let them know how you've colored their zine. So you can see on this one here, we've got a crazy anglerfish, some nice rat action, a happy caterpillar and an apple. Yeah, I like this where they say design the t-shirt on this person. That's cool. I like that. That's a good idea. Yeah, so just these really awesome illustrations that then you can color and then put them on there. Is this a colorless Pop-Tart cat? It is, Saxton. It is. You could follow this creator. You can download this, and you could inject some color into this Nyan cat. I think that's Nyan, the Nyan cat. And see, really interesting little things to add your own flair to it. So, previously it was the design the t-shirt on the one fellow, and now like add your own pet to this Tamagotchi. Oh, a half melted SpongeBob SquarePants popsicle. Yeah, fun stuff. This one they call their nostalgia edition of the zine. So it's some folks of a certain age will recognize a lot of this stuff. It's a little bit young for my set, but I recognize a whole lot of it. Really cute things. Yeah, that was fun. I like trading with people who attend these things. That's always super fun when somebody comes up to look at your zines and then they're like, "Hey, I've got some stuff on my backpack. You want to do a trade?" And I love that. Yeah, funny buddy, is that like that's your era. Like I feel like you're just yeah, you're a bit younger than me, so it's like that's your era of stuff. This one is pretty wild, folks. This is from Lindsay, who goes as Snaildy. I almost forgot to put Lindsay's information up on the screen because I'm just so excited to flip through this one with you. It's called The Realm of Darkness, and it is a choose your own adventure zine. And when I say it's a choose your own adventure zine, it's full on. It's a full 20 what 12 it's a full 12-page zine. They figured out a really amazing, you can see here, it's quite the crazy accordion of paper. They've really figured out an interesting way to create this, to create a bunch of odd page sizes and more pages than you'd normally get out of a standard zine. So the Realm of Darkness, it opens up, and they even give you a Spotify link for what I guess would be intended to be your soundtrack while you're doing this. The realm is dangerous. Be careful which path you choose. Find the gem that will bring light back to our world. And you just keep on flipping until you get to until you get to a decision. So you can see what Lindsay's done here is you have certain pages that flip up. Pretty wild, right? So choose your path. So the only thing I'm not totally clear on is whether we are able to, I think we start right there going straight to page 2. And then we make the choice, do we go through this portal to page 3 or do we go through this one to page 5? And so if we say, okay, we're going to go to page 5, then we flip, flip, flip. And you get these awesome vertical portrait style pages every so often. You find a wise tree who advises you not to try and fight the shadowy ones. They are very powerful. Go to page 4. So now we flip back to 4. Here we are. You reach a fork and hear a voice telling you to go right. Do you trust it? I'm going to say, no, I don't trust any voices in the dark, and you always go left. Always go left. We go to page 8. You're able to flip forward to 8, which is this one here, flips us into them. You begin to feel your energy dwindling when suddenly you come upon a magical spring. Take a sip, yes or no. And so it continues in this way. And I don't want to spoil all of it, but it's an amazing book. So basically, making your choices through here, you're able to find whether or not you end up saving the kingdom and bringing light back to the world or not. And it's wild. And I've been meaning to really when you look at the total size of this thing, and so what they've done is they've put a spot of glue on this one here. But other than that, you can see it's printed, I think, on a what I guess would be, is it two? I guess it's two separate ones put together. That is super clever. Oh, wow. Okay. So where the spotted glue is to bring these two together, that brings together two different printed signatures in the sort of printing parlance of it, and then becomes this great big tome here. This is amazing. I love this thing so much. It's so clever. And I love the fact that they've figured out a way not only to expand on the size of this thing, but also to change the format completely. When you get these flipping open vertical pages, that is it's like a delight every time you come across one of those. And then they're able to change, they definitely were very clever about what they placed on that page on these ones, because it wants something different. So yeah, it's amazing. It's cool. It's like your own little Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Just awesome. Just and the artwork, of course. Just look at the richness, and the like that, look how beautiful that is with like the electricity flowing in the air. Beautiful. That's a hell of a book right there. I love that a whole lot. Next, we're going to talk about a piece. I think I've got a couple pieces from Abby. Another person that I got to catch up with a little bit at Zine Party. It's so nice seeing, a lot of these people, I only see them once a year or a couple times a year. I might see them at another market that I might go attend, or they might be at Starry Dynamo or something like that. But, otherwise, I might only catch them at Zine Party every year. So it's so nice to catch up with people. And so we've got a couple of really beautiful, really nicely printed too, like very thick paper. A couple of very nice color ones from Abby at Abby Osnes. This is their sketchbook. My sketchbook. If we get it to like what we're doing there. There, look how nicely that's printed too. I love that it's got a real nice like the halftone pattern, nice moire patterns happening there. So these are some pieces from their sketchbook. Really nicely done. I like that the printing is a little bit coarse on this. Like you get that. I wonder how they printed this. If they printed it on their own printer, if they printed it with a provider, because you look at the moire patterns that happening. I'm a big sucker for a good like halftone pattern, halftone screen. I think it adds it becomes its own texture that gets added to color work, and it adds something. It tickles some part of my brain to see the halftone screen like that. Take this man to the dentist. Yeah, really quite nice. And then this one here called Birds of the Bow, featuring some birds of the Bow River, I take it. Oh yeah, look at that. You get a heron. Hey, look, there's Charles. What kind of bird is that? I'm not even sure. I do. There's something I like about birds. People like to do lots of like cool birds and fishes, I notice. And I'm here for it. I love any of these zines that have like cool illustrations of birds and fishes. I don't know, fish and wildlife. I don't know what it is. Boris, the cobra chicken, as we call them up here, the Canadian goose. Lenny, is that maybe a tern, an Arctic tern? I'm not too sure. Ooh, look at Ilya eating a fish. Sue and the kids. There's Hank. Oh, these are beautiful. Really, really beautiful. And like a really thick paper, which I think really, the thing about a nice thick coated paper like this is it grabs, like the way the color is retained. A nice coated paper like this, your ink will sit more on the surface of the paper. So you get more vibrancy, more sharpness. And it really, really works here. Really, really works. So yeah, Abby. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Now we've got, let's see, I've got one piece from Jean. So Jean was actually, Jean was right next to me in the next booth. So I was very happy. I was kind of like looking at the stuff all day going like, I got to trade for some of this stuff. So we got this concept zine called Lucid. And look at Jean's illustration style. It's got that like whimsical, Nemo in Slumberland kind of like, it's got a little bit of almost like a watercolor. I think it is watercolor. No expert on that, unfortunately. It's just beautiful. Look at the illustrations in here. Just gorgeous. And a very consistent style happening, telling the story of this, showing these sort of this concept of this what this person's seeing in their slumber, what this land looks like. And then we get some really good. Now, John, I don't know for sure if John is a graduate. Say, for example, a lot of stuff I'm seeing here looks like it might be like it's got that feeling like the Alberta University of the Arts character design or illustration program. Like I'm seeing, but if I'm not too sure what Jean's background or training is, but really strong character design, really strong. Like here, working out the silhouettes of each one, that's super cool. That has me thinking about, how to expand my own work. Figuring out the silhouette of your characters has my brain, like, has the wheels turning slowly. Of not only do you have to think about your iconic looks of each character, but also thinking about how they stand out in their silhouette is very smart. And just beautiful work. You can see the explorations John was doing with the colors and garb of this character. And just gorgeous work. Amazingly gorgeous work. And look at this illustration. Like this right here, I want this blown up to like a 2 by 3 foot print or something. This is just beautiful. I could see this painted on a wall or a big print hung on a wall. Just really nice. Yeah, so that's Jean Gaulle. Really beautiful work. Amazing. Amazing. Our next one here is going to be Levin. I hope I'm saying that right. Levin was my neighbor on the other side of John, was Levin, I believe. And has here meditations for the art gallery. It's the night of the artist talk. Cockroaches crawl out from the storage closet. They were invited. These cracks in the facade, they write their future. You visit the artwork while gliding through the river where the gallery once was. That's some good poetry right there. That's some really good poetry. I'm going to remember this next time I'm in an art gallery. I often, when I'm in an art gallery, I'm trying to figure out what to do with myself. Honestly. I'm trying to figure out where to stand, what to do, how to get through it. I'm going to remember this prose next time, especially this one, which is very poignant for Kieran Calgary. Like this idea of you visit the artwork while gliding through the river where the gallery once was. Thinking about that flow, that struck me the most from this one. Really nice work. We've got a whole set of zines here. We got, I think, a set of 6. Look at this, called Big Feelings. We got 5. Is it 5? No, we got 6. We got all 6. This was a new friend met at the zine party from Bones and Beetle's Zines. Bones, Beetles, Zines. Bones, Beetles, Zines. Really nice stuff. So we've got a set of 5, and it's interesting. They all kind of vary in size just a little bit. These ones go about the same, but this first one's just a little bit different. It's a little bit different the way it's set up. This one is done as sort of your more, it's cut and then pasted and glued together into a, so you get, just the leafed pages, which is a really nice touch. I like that. Versus your sort of more classic zine, but they've done that sort of treatment on all of these, which gives it a nice, it kind of gives it a finished feeling, which I like. It's something different than I normally do on my zines. I usually go for the sort of classic style, and then I figure out how to use that inside page that you don't normally use. But they've done this really nice finished one. And this, I think they do a silk screen on the back of these sort of it's their sort of signature on the back, the Bones and Beetle zines, because I can feel the raised texture. And boy, there's something. It's a moire pattern, a good halftone screen, and it's also when I can feel that someone has silk screened on or sprayed, maybe even spray painted from a stencil. But when you can feel that raised, paint or ink on there, it does something in my brain. I don't know what it is. So big feelings. And a good amount of nice writing happening in each one of these. Sometimes I wake up with this unexplainable sense of rage. Normally I just self-isolate until I feel like I'm less likely to explode. I wish it was that easy. One big burst and then have it done. Unfortunately, if I were to do that, I don't think I'd be able to put myself out. Then what? I'm just left with that forever? Then everyone else would know I feel like this. When I do feel this angry, it feels like something has infected me. I never really believed in ghosts, but I was always afraid they believed in me. The funny thing is, most people in my life wouldn't describe me as an angry person. Does this make me a fraud or a liar? Is there even a difference? One of my biggest fears is that one day I'll catch the attention of a mind reader and they'll hear everything. Maybe they would hear my thoughts on bribing them. They'd also hear my banking info, so it's possible that they wouldn't dig that deep. Part of me hopes that by admitting it, somehow as if by magic, I won't feel like this anymore. My whole life, I've always felt so intensely. It would be nice to just eat a sandwich and watch it drift away. It'd be easier than finding out why I'm so mad because I'm getting tired of all these big feelings. So this series does something that I think zines do almost better than any other medium. And that is the act of putting a piece of yourself onto a page and putting it out into the world. It takes an incredible amount of fortitude to do that, to make yourself vulnerable and to put a piece of your own self, your own psyche, your own experience, however that might manifest, putting that onto a page and putting it into the world just takes, a huge amount of courage and a huge amount of introspection. So I love this. I love reading this stuff. It lets you in a way that we don't always, especially nowadays, where we all kind of posture in a certain way for social media or whatever else, and to keep ourselves in standing in polite society. This is a place where you can be safe to talk about something like this. And that's, I think, the power of zines, and that's why I think zines are so powerful and important, and I love them. Here's part 2. Times must be tough when I start thinking about starting a podcast. Either that or my ego is too healthy, which can't be the case unless this is normal. It probably is, and I'm overreacting. A habit of mine. My talents are based around deception. I say this because I've either convinced myself of things I wish I weren't true, or hid myself from them. It truly is magic. It truly is tragic. Jealousy doesn't look good on a girl like me, even though my eyes are green. Though maybe if I wait to see if the world will remember, they'll be smudged out by then. I think only a vortex would understand. Which is odd because I don't understand. Of course, it's the Pisces crying salty tears. I think that's something I should not admit. Why would I show them my guts? Then I'd have nothing left to hide. They'd have me hooked without a line, dead in the water. I'm not telling myself the whole truth because I don't know what that entails. All I feel is the sinking feeling or that too familiar, sharp pain. This isn't how I wanted my life to be, yet I still have no clue what I want or if these are just growing pains. I will wait to see what blossoms. That's a really awesome illustration right there. The blossoming coming through. Oh, that's pretty amazing. Yeah, so each one of these is pretty, deep feelings of the author, with just really gorgeous illustrations and really deep introspection. Like I said, here's that sort of Sisyphean task of pushing the boulder up the mountain. Yeah, really poignant stuff. I really like these a whole lot. And really beautiful little zines. Really beautiful little zines. Maybe let's jump to part 6 and take a look at this one. Not every path is for you. Not every path is for me. And everything is happening the way it should. That's what I tell myself when my journal pages are soaked by the blights of stagnation. I claim fate will sort itself out. How all I need to do is wait in the silence while I stumble in a dark room, desperately looking for the light switch. Maybe I missed a sign. The lottery. Come on now. See if we can get this to focus. Always fun trying to do this. If we get right in, there we go. I look for angel numbers and beg the universe to show me how good it gets, wondering if that endless abyss can hear me or if I'm waiting for a winner, for an echo. This is the best time in my life to make mistakes, but I also need to make the right kind of mistakes. The kind that makes you a good dinner party guest, nothing but a funny anecdote. So I may be entertaining while my hair is curled and shiny and my skin has never known a flaw. I'll kick and scream, then tell people it happened. Effortlessly. I'd drink matcha and do Pilates. I'd smell like sex without being a whore. Everyone would envy me and then call it love. But I would call it luck when I know it is because I made the right kind of mistakes. Maybe then I'll start to feel like the right kind of person. Some of the fears that a lot of us have. Amazing set. Amazing set. So Bones and Beetle, Bones and Beetle's zines, I believe is a collaboration between two creators. I think these ones are all done by one of them. I think. I hope I have that right. They're very powerful, and I'm very impressed, and I'm glad they shared them with me. And our last one tonight, we're looking at 3 of them by Eddie V from Some Pretty Gay Crafts. Really nice, folks. I love running into these folks at the markets. So Sweet Scones by Eddie V. So these are a set of zines that have actually a recipe, but also some nice writing in the beginning. And just beautiful, yeah, just beautifully made. So sweet scones, as they'd say. I think they'd say. This recipe is from my time in pastry school. Easily one of my favorite recipes from the program. Super customizable and easy to make. The curriculum was super rigid, didn't allow for much creativity, but this class, quick breads, was probably my favorite. We were given loose criteria for projects with freedom to experiment with flavors and decorations as long as we followed a basic recipe. The chef would even bring us extra ingredients he thought would complement our recipe and make us pizza for lunch while we worked. I have very fond memories of that class. This recipe is super customizable, can be made in pretty much any flavor as long as the moisture content stays balanced. It can easily be made vegan by using dairy substitutes. I'd suggest using non-dairy milk instead of egg wash if making vegan scones. Flavor ideas: berry chocolate chip, apple cinnamon, banana caramel, substitute 35 grams of buttermilk for one banana. Carrot cake, decrease to 200 grams of buttermilk. Raspberry pistachio cardamom. Ooh. Yeah, so you get I just like this. It gives a glimpse into not only these cool little recipes, but some glimpse into how Eddie came up with them. When I'm looking for recipes online, I complain endlessly about the some of the stories that are told in those ones purely for search engine optimization reasons. But in this case, this is the stuff I want to read. I want to find out like something about Eddie and how they came up with this and where they were in their life at the time. Like this comfortable soup. This soup has saved me on many occasions. It's never the same, just an amalgamation of whatever canned goods I have on hand. It's one of the first things I'll make after a trip to the food bank. It's perfect to make ahead of time and freeze if you're busy or low energy. Lasts a couple of months frozen. You can even make it in a crock pot, cook it on low for 6 to 8 hours, or 3 to 4 on high. Yeah. So it gives you the basic framework around making a very nice, comfortable soup. And date night pasta. There you go. This pasta came to be in an empty kitchen. This pasta was the star of Valentine's Day, celebrated with a fling, a retired chef twice my age. He was moving in a week and had nothing in his tiny apartment kitchen, so he made do with what he had and a few things from the Italian grocery down the street. And it was some damn good pasta. I like how it sort of continues the story as you go through here. So it has some of the ingredients, and it says, "Hey, all we had that night for seasoning was salt and sashimi togarashi, so that's what we used." Just yeah, neat, very cool. So that's the end of part 1. We're going to be doing 3 parts of this. I wanted to keep these episodes down to around that 30-minute mark when possible, 30 to 40 minutes of these, so that I can showcase more of these. And the ones we looked at tonight were the recipe zines from Eddie V from some pretty gay crafts. We also had Bones and Beetles. We had Levin, Jean, Abby, Lindsay, the 2 coloring zines from the Derpy Turtle, and these lovely pieces from T.I.A. So yeah, please join me next week when we'll talk more about what I picked up at the Shelf Life Books and CommunityWise Resource Center zine party, and we'll go through another set of 8 creators next Wednesday night. So I'll see you then. As always, this happens live on Twitch and also lives on YouTube afterwards. So if you're watching on Twitch, thank you so much. Thank you for participating in chat. This will live on YouTube, so you can find it there on my channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, I thank you for catching up on it there. You could be catching this live on Twitch and chiming in on the chat if you'd like to do that as well. So I thank you all very much. Next week, we'll do another one of these. Thank you so much.